Hi, I'm Deb Cherry, and I'm the Treasurer of Genesee County. On behalf of the Land Bank Board of Directors, the Citizens Advisory Council, and Land Bank staff, welcome to our second annual State of the Land Bank Address. We're pleased to take this opportunity to share our successes with you this evening. But first, I would like to thank our many partners and funders for all the support and work they do to eliminate blight, enhance neighborhoods, and strengthen our communities. We could not have accomplished all the success we have achieved without you. Thank you. I'll turn it over now to Michael Freeman, the Land Bank's Executive Director, and he can share more about our program tonight.
Welcome, and thank you for joining us this evening for our second annual virtual State of the Land Bank Address. The Community Speaks, Partners in Progress. I'm excited to share stories of our many successes with you tonight. So let me begin with what we are. The Genesee County Land Bank is an independent governmental entity created to receive foreclosed properties. We receive and manage properties from the Genesee County Treasurer after tax foreclosure. We do not foreclose. That is the function of the county. But we do hold, manage, and sell these properties under an intergovernmental agreement with the Treasurer's Office. Today we hold more than 15,000 properties in Flint and Genesee County, and the majority of these properties are residential vacant land. We try and sell these properties to adjacent property owners to increase the size of their lots whenever possible. We also hold properties for development that aligns with the master plan for the City of Flint and other city plans countywide. We also have properties with structures on them. Most of these structures in our inventory have been vacant, abandoned for years before we accept them. As a result, they require demolition or significant repair by the time we receive them. Now this brings me to one of our challenges, limited funding. Unfortunately, there is little to no funding available to address all the challenges on these properties we accept. We are constantly seeking additional funding from federal, state, and local government, as well as our philanthropic partners, and we do our best with what we have. We could not do this work without our funders and our many partners to eliminate blight on the properties we receive, as well as the surrounding properties. That is why this year we decided to put the spotlight on our community partners and those we have impacted so you could hear directly from them about our work together to eliminate blight, enhance neighborhoods, and strengthen communities. Tonight you're going to hear from the community about their experiences working with us. But before we give you their stories, I am pleased to announce that Congressman Dan Kildee will kick off the program with special remarks. The Congressman is responsible for establishing this land bank back in 2004 and playing a crucial role helping to secure passage of land bank legislation in the state of Michigan. That has made it possible for us to do the important work that we do. We are grateful for Congressman Kildee's work, for all the support he has continued to provide for blight elimination and revitalization. We hope you enjoy this program. Thank you.
Hi, this is Congressman Dan Kildee, and I'm so happy to be here to be a part of this. I feel such a strong connection to the work of the Genesee County Land Bank and all the people who are dedicated to its success. But I especially want to start off by saying thank you on behalf of all of us who are part of this and the whole community, to those groups, those individuals and organizations that have been part of the effort to keep these properties maintained, to take care of them. You've been recognized for your work, but I just want to say personally how grateful I am. You make a difference. You change the landscape of the community with the work that you do every day. And you're able to do this now and for the last couple of decades because of the Genesee County Land Bank, because of the fact that we now have this organization that can take responsibility for property that used to be abandoned, that used to be forgotten, and fell into the hands of people from all over the country, speculators that had no intention of treating the land as if it was part of our own landscape. They treated it like it was a commodity to be bought and sold, almost like baseball cards. That's over. Now, the work of the land bank is tough though. It's difficult because what it does for us is gives the community, the voices of the community, a chance to have a stake, a say in what will happen to these empty lots, to these empty houses, to these empty buildings. It doesn't mean it happens automatically. It doesn't mean it's transformed, but the opportunity to have the community's interest manifest in the use of this property is presented because you have a land bank. And it takes the community to embrace that and to express to the leadership of the land bank, to people like Michael Freeman and Deb Cherry and the board, what you have as your vision for the use of these properties. The tools are there, but what we need is a vision, and we need the community to come together around that. And that's why it's so important that the folks who are being recognized tonight have stepped up to take your responsibility for your own future by being a part of the solution. The idea behind the land bank, again, is not that it's a magic elixir that fixes the problems, but it gives us the one thing we never had before it was created, and that is the control of the land itself, the ability to make a decision for ourselves. So our job now is to make sure that the land bank has the vision of the community to achieve its goals for the use of these properties and the resources in order to make sure we can get that job done. It's not easy, it's tough, but it starts with you. And it starts with the fact that we have so many people who are dedicated to the success of our community that they're willing to be a part of it. So thank you for that.
Hi, I'm Alexandria Riley, Sales and Development Director. Here at the Land Bank, we believe strongly that our work must directly impact and benefit the communities we serve by making those lives that we come in contact with better. We believe in opening doors to safe, affordable housing, unlocking opportunities to realize the dream of homeownership, and rebuilding neighborhoods and small business through intentional development. This past fiscal year, our numbers have substantially increased in promoting homeownership in Flint and Genesee County and rehabbing properties to be listed for sale. With our Featured Homes program, we offer affordable housing choices and in-house financing, which have helped countless local families and individuals realize the dream of homeownership.
Well, me in a nutshell, 43 years old, 4 children, soon to be married. After the turn of the winter into spring, we're gonna get married. And my interest in purchasing from Land Bank, I actually watched one of my older brothers put every one of his children in a house through Land Bank. As they aged into their teens, mid-teens, I watched him do that, and I began to research Land Bank Authority. And I watched and waited till we saw the right one. And the fiance said, that's the one, she wants it. So I did it, and thank God in Land Bank, the answer was yes on our offer. So I'm most proud of the fact that an entity like the Land Bank Authority makes it so easy to own a home. That's why, after I read every single piece of information about y'all on y'all's website, and I said, that's it. That's how I'm gonna do it, and we're gonna get it done. For people that have tried to find a home to buy and they run into all of that red tape and all of those types of things that can bar you from getting a house, do not overlook Land Bank Authority, because they really do make it rather easy, completely simple to get one. And as long as you have a tangible laid out plan on how you're gonna love that house and make that house a home, then they'll make your getting into one pretty easy. And it's rather cut and dry, it really is. If you need to be blessed with a house, they can help you.
Okay, mi nombre es Haroldo Ángel y yo vine de Miami acá buscando trabajo y me he ido quedando. Llevo aquí alrededor de 1 año y medio,
Ya.
1 año y 6 meses.
¿Y por qué compraste una casa del Land Bank?
Por la facilidad que me dio el Land Bank, que es bastante económica a comparación de otras casas, y entonces me gustó el precio y decidí comprarla.
Ya. ¿Y qué son tus planes para la casa?
Bueno, arreglarla, y por ahora mi hijo va a vivir acá. Más adelante no sé si rentarla. Tengo intenciones de comprar alguna otra propiedad y eso para arreglarla y remodelarla, porque necesitan mucho trabajo, pero arreglarla y eso, y poderlas poner a la renta.
¿Y qué quieres decir a gente que quieren que tiene interés en comprar una casa del Land Bank?
Bueno, que traten de comunicarse con el Land Bank, que ahí hay personas que los van a ayudar y de verdad que los precios son bastante accesibles.
Ya, bueno, muchas gracias.
Muy bueno, gracias.
Another key aspect of our work centers in on returning distressed properties back into productive use. We believe in providing access to small businesses, nonprofit groups, faith-based institutions, and investors. Our newly launched Ready for Rehab program makes properties that require a little more investment available with a quick, efficient process towards ownership that new owners can get to work right away.
All right, my name is Bob Sims. On YouTube, I'm Bob the Rebuilder. But I'm nobody in particular except a history buff. And so I live in Carriagetown neighborhood. And in fact, I live right across the street from this project, which is one of the big things that attracted me to it because location, you know? I don't have to walk very far to work. The people at the Land Bank were very professional in actually they collaborated with several different offices, I think, to get her done. And I'm not the best prospect for the job, but actually I think I am for this, but it doesn't look like it, to people who don't know me. So anyway, we got the house and have been working on it for a year and a half. The people working on it were very professional and seemed to be inclined to help. So that's the mission of the Land Bank, after all, to get people in these old houses. So I'm documenting this on YouTube at Adventure Bob the Rebuilder, and the playlist is called My Ridiculous Old House Rescue, because that's how everyone looked at it at first, was that's ridiculous. Somebody's doing something with that house, but happy. Everybody's happy about it. Yeah. So that's the channel and the name of the playlist. Great. I have 15 videos and I suppose 15 more by the time I'm done.
I've actually purchased several homes from Land Bank, and my relationship has been always good. I was treated professionally. The staff there is wonderful to work with. This particular home here was pretty much a demo when we bought it, but I saw the potential. The foundation was good, the bones were good. It just needed everything. It needed to take it right down to the studs and start all over again. And this neighborhood is such a good neighborhood, we knew it was worth fixing it up. The houses over here, when they were built strong, and the structure on them was so good that we knew we could save them. And we hate to see houses get torn out and that can be brought back to life. And every house we pick, we go through and, we've turned a couple down because we didn't think that, it was really worth fixing them up because there's too much to be done. But, like I said, we just love this neighborhood. I've worked this neighborhood since the 80s. I used to be a foot patrolman in this neighborhood right here. And I walked the beat over here. So, I've just always liked this area. And, some of these houses I remember from years ago, and to see them come down to where they were, is just kind of it kind of hurt me a little bit to see it go in that direction. And then we bring back to life, the neighbors come by and everybody wants to go through the house. And, when we get done, we try to be the nicest house on the block, from the worst to the nicest. That's kind of our goal.
While only 4% of our inventory is commercial, the Land Bank has been a strong partner in large and small scale commercial redevelopment. Since 2004, when the Land Bank began, we've sold more than 400 commercial properties. Many of these commercial properties, while they were once vacant and tax foreclosed, are now occupied by businesses that employ Genesee County residents, pay taxes, and fuel the local economy. Partnering in progress means supporting those that are already doing the work within our communities, fostering an inclusive and equitable approach to make sure that development opportunities are intentional, sustainable, and can make a real impact.
Hi, my name is Miriam Russell. I am the Executive Director of the Sylvester Broom Empowerment Village. better known as SBEV. Here at SBEV, we have so many awesome projects coming up. One of them is our 57,000 square feet sportsplex that we're building in the back. Indoor sports facility, basketball, football, lacrosse, any sport you can think of, we're going to house it there. The land bank has been very helpful in helping us to navigate extra parking, things of that nature. And in addition to that, we are looking to redevelop over 200 properties on campus or near campus. I just want to really thank the land bank for all the wonderful work that they do in the community. They really focus on making the community an equitable place for everyone. And I really value their partnership. Thank you, Land Bank.
Hello, my name is Derek Watkins. I'm the director and founder of the Active Boys in Christ Ministry. We have a program that offers free skill trades along with cooking skills and life application skills to our youth in the local city of Flint. We are very thankful that we were able to obtain this property through the land bank, and this was actually on the demolition list. And with all of our help and volunteers within the community, we were able to rehab this home and to hopefully put another well-deserved family into this home. Our program is very impactful because we introduce skill trades to youth and also eliminate blight and produce a safe environment for our local community. We obtain our youth through our Facebook and also flyers in the local community. The age group is ages 7 through 17. And ages 7 through 12, we have them working on separate projects. And ages 13 through 17, we bring them out on a construction site to teach them skilled trades. And it's very important to allow youth to be exposed to skilled trades, because as I was growing up, I wasn't exposed or the right avenue to go into skilled trades. And this is a very good opportunity for youth to be exposed to the skilled trades and hopefully go into a very prosperous career.
We believe in partnering to encourage redevelopment through blight removal, environmental assessment, and land sales. Examples of project partners include City of Flint, Communities First, North Flint Reinvestment Corporation, Fresh Flint, Catholic Charities, Flint College Cultural Corporation, Flint Housing Commission, North Star Development, and more, including
My name is Thomas Hutchison. I'm the Executive Director at Genesee County Habitat for Humanity. The land bank was crucial in helping us secure these properties and helping us through the initial processes of getting this project underway. Without the land bank, not only would this project not have been possible, but a number of our builds in this neighborhood would not have been possible without the partnership that we have with the land bank. Recently, the land bank has been critical in helping us secure funds through the Michigan State Housing Development Authority for our newest evolution of the home repair program, which is the Flint Home Improvement Fund. In helping homeowners repair their homes, we hope to keep people in their homes so that they can age in place, so that they can afford to keep up aging houses, and so that we can revitalize and stabilize all of the neighborhoods in the city of Flint.
Hi, my name is Bill Winarski. And my capacity of talking with you here today is I'm the chairman of the Greater Flint Mental Health Facilities Board, and that is a small nonprofit organization that owns and maintains most of the buildings that Genesee Health System, the community mental health organization in Flint and Genesee County, operates out of. And I've had this capacity for about 17 years. The land bank owned several parcels on the parcel of land that we're standing on, and so we started with the land bank asking them if we could buy those parcels, and they were extremely cooperative and really made it easy for us to get the nucleus of the site that we're standing here on and then add to that. Well, the inspiration behind this project is that Genesee Health System was running 4 different children's programs, and over the last several years they've gotten a lot larger, and they expanded into 3 different buildings that they were leasing. And in April of 2019 they asked me to take a look at these buildings because they were outgrowing them, and the programs were outgrowing these buildings, and there was no room for them to grow in any of the buildings that they were in. And I had the idea in April of 19 that the community would support building a new building where we could combine all of these programs and make it much easier for the families to access the programs. We had families that had multiple children in multiple programs. And there was a lot of things lacking from the buildings, like a nice secure drop-off, an outside playground, those type of things. And none of the buildings were built specifically for the programs that they were needing to operate today. So I had the idea of building a new beautiful building and putting it in a prominent location to kind of address all of those needs, as well as make a statement of how important children's health is to the overall recovery of Flint and Genesee County. Well, we're currently working with, as I mentioned, Uptown Reinvestment Corporation is one of our largest partners. Also, Edible Flint owns a lot of property here, and some of the things that they need, like parking, we could share. So there's a lot of things that we could do, as well as working with Uptown Reinvestment Corporation for possible new partners as they come along. We're hoping that our building and the success we've had here working with the Land Bank is contagious, and other people want to build here and extend south down Saginaw Street.
Chevy Hull was a major auto manufacturing plant that first opened in 1904. And after ending operations, after a loss of about 8,000 jobs in the 1990s, the factories were demolished by GM in 2004, leaving behind a 67-acre site almost entirely covered with concrete slabs. In 2004, the Land Bank secured an EPA revolving loan fund grant through the Genesee County Treasurer's Office. And we worked with the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor in 2007 to lead a community visioning process. And through that process, it was recommended that we cover the site with soil and make a public green space. In 2012, the city acquired the property, and in 2014, the Land Bank and partners formed a steering committee to develop an overall site design.
In 2021, Genesee County Land Bank, along with a whole coalition of partners, has completed capping 60 acres of the site formerly known as Chevy in the Hole. Today known as Chevy Commons, there is about 1,300 trees planted across the site that will sequester about 31,000 tons of carbon from the air when they're mature per year. They will also sequester about 76,000 gallons a year of water runoff, preventing that water from running off into the Flint River. The low maintenance vegetative cap that's planted across the site varies in depth from 2 feet to 12 feet. The project would be impossible to complete without the support of our various and generous funders, such as the Environmental Protection Agency, the City of Flint, the Genesee County Treasurer, the Michigan Department of Environment, Great Lakes and Energy, the United States Forest Service, and of course many more. The list goes on. Without all of these important people and important organizations, the site would not have come to be what it is today. As a matter of fact, earlier this year, Governor Gretchen Whitmer announced that the site will be incorporated into plans to make a state park here in Genesee County, the first state park for Genesee County, and we're excited to see how it grows into the future. EPA invested about $9 million either directly or indirectly into the development of the site. The Michigan Department of Environment, Great Lakes and Energy has invested more than $3 million into the development. And of course, we couldn't forget about the Genesee County Parks, who has invested quite a bit of funds and time and energy into developing the Flint River Restoration Plan. Upon completion, the 60 acres has about 2.9 miles of trails on site. If you include the Flint River Trail, we have 3.81 miles of trails to enjoy. Hi, I'm Faith Finholm, and I am the grants manager for the Genesee County Land Bank. I work on demolition grants and grants that involve environmental cleanup of contaminated properties in and around Genesee County. And I just want to talk a little bit about our demolition program today. Many of the properties that we receive come to us in blighted and unsafe conditions, and they are often contaminated with things like asbestos and debris, and sometimes they can have critters that live in them. And we are always seeking funding to help address those situations and help support neighborhoods, because we know that it has a great impact as we remove blight and unsafe structures from communities.
Well, it was a lived-in structure in 2009 for a while. There was a very great man that lived there. He took immaculate care of his house. A tree that was like super huge fell into the front of the property, and he was unable to get help through his insurance to fix the cover the cost of the damage. So he moved, and it's been vacant since 2009. It's became a site. The backyard was full of wildlife and growth because nature takes itself back over. And I've reached out to lots of people because not just the property next to me, but all kinds of properties around here are vacant and people dump on them. And so it's a constant problem for residents around here. We try to see the good in everything and keep everything clean around here. So we make projects throughout each summer. That was a big reason for why I pushed for demo for it, because he only had these walls to look out. I don't really know what I'm gonna do with the property next door, but I would love to have a nice garden and expand my garden from around my house. The people here, we all get along pretty well. We all have a mutual respect with trying to keep it decent. Everybody around here has been here for a long time, and they take pride in where they're at too, so it kind of works. Well, I hope that I can be an advocate for other people around me. I've actually been working with the City of Flint and the Neighborhood Engagement Hub with trying to put together a plan for land bank properties to encourage people to either purchase or lease and maybe maintain. We're willing to help them get it to maintainable conditions to where we can spread it, hopefully, and the more hands, the better. And I really hope that I can advocate for people like myself who had a house that was there for 12 years to not have to look at that next door to them.
Hi, I'm Nina Woodall with Mott Park Neighborhood Association. We are talking about the property that's on Marquette that was tore down this summer. It has been on a list for over 5 years. There was a fire, so it's right in the middle of our neighborhood, so everybody that drives through our neighborhood sees the burned down house, and it was an eyesore for everybody to look at, not only when they come out from their houses, but also as you drive through. Any new people coming in, that's the first thing that they see when they came into the neighborhood. So the house on Marquette that was burnt down was demolished this summer via the land bank. Now, since the demolition, when you drive into the neighborhood, you don't see a burnt down house. You see a lot that is growing green grass. And when my neighbors walk outside their houses, they see a better view, and it's more pleasant for them when they come to sit on their porches. The demolition had made a big difference because not only was it an eyesore, but it brought not only blight, but people were squatting in the house. So we took that entity out of our neighborhood to kind of help it a little bit safer to be in the neighborhood, and it looks a lot nicer.
Hi, my name is Edna Sabuco. I'm a resident of the East Side neighborhood here in the city of Flint. I've been fortunate to purchase 2 lots from the land bank. The one was directly next to my own property, and it allowed me to expand my yard, and that's been very helpful to me. Coming from a farming background, I like to have a little bit of land to call my own. I bought the second lot next to that. The house was decrepit, it was falling in, and the land bank was kind enough to come in and raise it. Blighted properties have impacted our neighborhood in such a sorry way, and they bring the values of our homes down, and that is never a good thing. With those properties gone, the values of our homes go up, we feel better about ourselves, the probability of people keeping their properties up better are much improved. We have had a number of properties in the neighborhood raised by the land bank. They were in various states of, well, they just weren't in very good shape. We still have a few left, but the land bank is working on them a little at a time as funds become available. And of course, they take care of the most derelict properties first. And I'm thoroughly pleased with what has been done in our neighborhood by the land bank itself. It makes Flint a whole lot better. That's the best way I can put it.
So the land bank receives properties after tax foreclosure. Most of the properties we receive have been vacant and abandoned for years before we receive them. The majority of the structures we receive are in need of demolition by the time we accept them. So we have demolished more than 8,500 properties since we formed in 2004. 196 of these were completed this past fiscal year. So despite the progress we have made in eliminating blight in Flint and Genesee County, we still have more than 1,700 blighted houses in neighborhoods that are in need of demolition. We know that many of these houses are burned and pose an immediate threat to neighbors. Eliminating hazards in neighborhoods is a very high priority for the land bank, and we are committed to finding funding from any and all sources. We look forward to the possibility of securing funding from the City of Flint, Genesee County, the State of Michigan, and others in the coming year to demolish these blighted structures.
Well, we have 12 full-time members, and usually we have about 45 seasonal employees. This year we couldn't do that. We only had 28, but we still managed to get a lot done. We have crews that mow all of the foreclosed properties within the City of Flint and in all of Genesee County. This year we mowed about 19,000 lots in the city and an additional 2,500 in the out county. We also do cleanups in conjunction with the city and other neighborhood groups. This year we probably did a major cleanup every couple of weeks, and we had the great benefit of getting free dumpsters from the city this year for those cleanups. So I'm not sure how much tonnage was in those. It was a lot. As far as our own cleanups, we went through about 150 tons of garbage that was thrown away this year. So one of the things my crews do are prepare houses for sale. And when we're going to show a house through our featured home program, we want to clean that out. So it's nasty, dirty work, but they get there with a dump trailer and just clean everything out of the house so we can take decent pictures, and it really does help our sales having all that junk taken out of the house. It's more than just our maintenance work. It's the land bank tearing down houses and stuff, but just driving around the city, we know what it looked like the year before and what it looks like this year and the differences that we make. So we hope that we can continue to actually get more people to do more work and clean more yards and sell more houses and make the city better.
For me, I think the most rewarding thing is getting positive feedback from the community.
Most rewarding thing for me, I believe, is like when we mow the lawns in the city of Flint, and then, you know, I am a resident of the city of Flint also. And then when you ride back by it and you see that you done did that, you know, you be like, wow, you know. It makes you feel good because you put in the work, you know, to clean up the city. So I think that's the most.
And the trash.
Yeah, the trash. Yeah.
Cleaning up trash in our own personal neighborhood. So
I love Flint, like, you know, and I know a lot of people do. And I just wanted to keep my vision of things going with a lot of the neighborhood groups that I had met over my 7 years working for the city. And one of my favorite stories was I had one of the neighborhood group ladies that come into my office one day at the city of Flint crying. And I said, hey, what's going on? She says, Raul, I'm done. I said, what do you mean you're done? I can't do this no more. People just don't care. I said, well, you can't quit on me. She said, what do you mean I can't? You can't. I says, it's people like you and me that make a difference. I says, and if you give up and I give up, who's gonna care? And fortunately, she's still working out there with the Clean and Green groups. So it was that story. Just I think about her and a couple of the other groups that I dealt with a lot, and it's just the satisfaction to know that when we help those groups accomplish what they want to accomplish, which is keep their neighborhoods clean, it's a great feeling for all of us. And it's a win-win for all of us because then our property values don't deteriorate and stuff like that. So that's why I continue to do what I do.
Good morning, everyone. Today we just happen to be at this beautiful space that Ballinger Square Community Association has created through our Clean and Green program. Our Clean and Green program was implemented into the land bank concept in 2004. It is a community-based program, it is application-driven, and it's also a competitive process. This year we were fortunate to have 64, well actually we started out with 69 groups. Because of health and other issues, four of our groups had to drop out. But the lots that they were assigned were not neglected. The other 64 groups decided they committed to pick up those lots as part of their area. Again, the Clean and Green program is a competitive process, application-driven, and it's community-based, which means that we took the initiative to support community-based organizations, nonprofits, and churches that wanted to maintain, clean, and beautify vacant lots throughout Genesee County.
All right, so I'm going to talk through some of our program accomplishments since the inception of Clean and Green in 2004, over 15 years ago. Groups have collectively maintained over 245,000 vacant properties, and this work is valued at over $12 million. Over the course of 15 years, we've had over 7,000 estimated participants in our program, and this includes 3,000 youth. Groups have also participated in other special projects, such as our decorative boarding project, where vacant buildings are secured with painted boards that mimic doors and windows. And we've boarded over 600 vacant properties through that program. And we've had countless gardens that have been created and supported throughout this program.
My name is Nick Kedavari, and my Clean and Green group is the Carriagetown Historic Neighborhood Association. Well, I got involved with the neighborhood about 8 years ago, and at the time we were already doing Clean and Green. So I took the reins of Clean and Green probably about 4 or 5 years ago, and we've added a few more lots than we usually did. So we're up to about we're maintaining about 32 lots every 3 weeks. A lot of the lots are now more privately owned, so those residents do take care of their lots more often now, and I think that's partially because of the impact of the Clean and Green program in Carriagetown. We do stretch north of our boundaries up towards Hurley Hospital. We're actually working with another entity for some infill housing on the lot across the street, this lot, and there's another lot adjacent to place some single-family homes and duplexes on. So we are exploring that option for some infill housing in the neighborhood. In these green spaces, or these homes that have been demoed, created green space, it's almost like a blank slate to restart again. So we're working on essentially trying to make Carriagetown whole again with, like I said, these infill projects, trying to place single-family homes or multifamily units on these vacant spaces. Every lot in Carriagetown had a house on it. So we're trying to get back to that and trying to create some more density in the neighborhood.
Neighborhood Hands-On Group, Infinite Life Concept Group, SB Harrison Training Center,
Working Brothers Community Group.
Yeah, so with the SB Harrison Training Center, obviously this is a group that was formulated and established through the church, Damascus Holy Life. And the training center is named after the founding pastor of Damascus Holy Life. And Pastor Harrison was a educator, and he believed that people should receive training of some sort, and we would be remiss if we didn't keep that legacy alive. And so the Clean and Green is an awesome partnership where we can involve the community, young people, those who are congregants of the church, to be a part of revitalizing the community. And so even though the center and the entity has been here for a while, we're relatively new to the Clean and Green program, but it's an awesome partnership to beautify the neighborhood. Well, once again, our group started just from the need in the community, and I think everyone that's involved in Clean and Green has a heart for the community, wanting to see their neighborhoods, wanting to see their environment better. And so, we really saw it as an opportunity, a win-win, to help young people gain some skills, take on responsibility, kind of help with the blight in the city, and make sure that things are in a situation where young people and all people can get to point A from point B in a safe way, ensuring that the lawns are cut and then dumping is maintained to a minimum, has been an awesome opportunity for our group, and that's just why we want to be involved, because we care about our community. Well, we're relatively new to the Clean and Green, and we're just really making our initial assessment of the whole entire community. But just like the work that we do on bi-weekly, monthly basis, doing the cleanup, there obviously can be more work done. And I know that there's been some demolitions over the past 5 years, but I would say again, it can still be more work done. And so I think if we have the attitude, we have the energy that we're in this together, I think we can accomplish a lot of work. And so as those assessments are brought out, and the community continues to say that blight is an issue and a matter that needs to be addressed, we want to be involved and engaged, and we want to ensure that if there's a piece that we can play, not only in the Clean and Green aspect, but advocating for more demolitions to have safer neighborhoods, we're all for that.
One of the things that I am most proud of in regard to this program is the commitment and the devotion of our participants. We have some groups that continue to work, although the season is over with, throughout the entire year. Now, you talk about devotion and commitment. You can't beat that. When groups continue to clean and beautify and make sure that their area is clean throughout the entire year. So there are a lot of people in this community that care about Flint and the quality of life of our citizens.
My name is Ronnie Russell, Flint Northern class of 1974 alumni. We kind of was taking care of this area a little bit, and I heard about the Clean and Green, so I applied for it with my class, and we was awarded. Me and my classmates grew up in this area, and we enjoyed the park, and there's still some kids in this area that I think everybody should go to the park. So we came out and started maintaining that park in 2010, and it was so amazing that people started bringing their kids to play to the park. And that's what we wanted, We didn't want the big kids always maintaining the park. The park is for the kids. I cut areas from Dayton Street all the way over to McClellan, which is probably 6-7 blocks. And I cut from Bombright to Iroquois, which my grid is 115 lots, but I do about 150, 160. Some of the successes, the neighbors would come out and participate, start cleaning their yard, come out and thank us for doing what we're doing, because if you didn't do it, the grass would be so high that you couldn't see around these corners. People can lay in the grass. You just, now you can see, if you see this lot here, you can kind of see what's in it. I appreciate it. Thank you for Land Bank and Ms. Speed. This is very good for the city, because as you see, ain't no houses. If you don't let this grass be cut, guess what it turned into? You can't see. And it's real dangerous when you live over there and you can't see in this grass, or somebody can be in it. I just, I'm thankful to the Land Bank and what they're doing on a constant basis, because if you miss just 1 year of cutting this grass, you got to miss. It took a lot of work, but, with God and Land Bank and to keep Genesee kind of beautiful, we accomplished a lot with that park.
There are countless impacts that the Clean and Green program has within the community. One of the major impacts that the Youth Violence Prevention Center through the University of Michigan has found with Clean and Green groups is that in areas that have Clean and Green participation, those street segments have a reduction of over 40% in violent crimes overall. There's also been new findings that the University of Michigan Youth Violence Prevention Center has found that in areas with clean and green maintenance, child maltreatment has been reduced by almost 40% as well. Also, we have groups that report that their areas look more aesthetically pleasing because of the work that they do, that they see more neighbors outside spending time outdoors, and that the interactions that they have with neighbors are overwhelmingly positive, and that even residents in the areas just outside of clean and green maintenance have been maintaining their properties more than they have in past years due to clean and green work.
If you are interested in our Clean and Green program, our applications will be available in January of 2022. If you have any questions about the program, please just give me a call at 810-293-0663. Thank you.
We would like to take this time to thank all of the Clean and Green program participants for the important work you do to clean and clear neighborhoods to make them safer and more beautiful. We are grateful for you and your hard work, dedication, and commitment to improving our community. All groups received a token of our appreciation in the mail this year. While we are pleased with the work of all of our Clean and Green groups this year, we would like to acknowledge a few groups for outstanding service in 5 categories. The first award, Pro Photographers, goes to the group who submitted the most images through the Flint Property Portal this season, with a total of 439 pictures submitted. And the winner is My Brother's Keeper of Genesee County Incorporated. The second award, Cleanup Conquerors, goes to the group who completed the most large-scale cleanups this season, with a total of 5 major cleanups, and the award winner is Brennan Park Renovation Fund. The third award, Mowing Masters, goes to the group who completed the most additional mows, with a total of 498 extra mows, and the winner is Roll, Reaching Out Love Every Day. The fourth award, Social Butterflies, goes to the group who had the most interactions with neighbors, with a total of 68 reported connections with neighbors. And the winner is Bel Air Woods Association. The fifth and final award, Heavy Lifters, goes to the group who filled the most dumpsters this season, with a total of 8 dumpsters filled, and the winner is Urban Renaissance Center. We will contact group leaders directly to make sure you receive your awards. Thank you all for the valuable and important work that you do.
Thank you all for joining us for the State of the Land Bank address. Our partners have spoken, and they have made it clear that the state of the land bank is strong. We appreciate you for taking the time to learn more about the work that we do in the community. We are grateful to all of our partners and funders who work alongside us to eliminate blight, strengthen neighborhoods, and revitalize our community. We could not do the work that we do without you. We appreciate your voices, and we look forward to our continued partnership. Flint and Genesee County need us all to work together. Thank you, stay well, stay safe, and may you all have a happy holiday. Good night.